Present simple. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
I run.
Really? Where did you run to?
Well, I run to the city.
That's interesting. Which city do you run to?
Well, I run to the quiet city.
That's nice.
Present continuous. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
I am running.
Really? Where are you running to?
Well, I am running to the city.
That's interesting. Which city are you running to?
Well, I am running to the quiet city.
That's nice.
Past continuous. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
I was running.
Really? Where were you running to?
Well, I was running to the city.
That's interesting. Which city were you running to?
Well, I was running to the quiet city.
That's amazing.
Present perfect. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
I have run.
Really? Where have you run to?
Well, I have run to the city.
That's interesting. Which city have you run to?
Well, I have run to the quiet city.
That's nice.
Thanks.
Present perfect continuous tense. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
I have been running.
Really? Where have you been running to?
Well, I have been running to the city.
That's nice. Which city have you been running to?
Well, I have been running to a quiet city.
That's interesting.
Past simple tense. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
I ran.
Really? Where did you run to?
Well, I ran to the city.
That's nice. Which city did you run to?
Well, I ran to a quiet city.
That's interesting.
Past perfect tense. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
I had run.
Really? Where had you run to?
Well, I had run to the city.
That's nice. Which city had you run to?
Actually, I had run to a quiet city.
That's interesting.
Future tense. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
I will run.
Really? Where will you run to?
Well, I will run to the city.
That's nice. Which city will you run to?
Well, I will run to a quiet city.
That's interesting. Present simple. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
He rides.
Really? What does he ride?
Well, he rides a bike.
That's interesting. Which bike does he ride?
Well, he rides the small bike.
That's interesting.
Present continuous. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
He's riding.
Really? What is he riding?
Well, he's riding a bike.
That's interesting. Which bike is he riding?
Well, he's riding the small bike.
That's nice.
Past continuous. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
He was riding.
Really? What was he riding?
Well, he was riding a bike.
That's interesting. Which bike was he riding?
Well, he was riding a small bike.
That's nice.
Present perfect. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
He has ridden.
Really? What has he ridden?
Well, he has ridden a bike.
That's interesting. Which bike has he ridden?
Well, he has ridden a small bike.
That's nice. Present perfect continuous tense. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
He has been riding.
Really? What has he been riding?
Well, he has been riding a bike.
That's nice. Which bike has he been riding?
Well, he has been riding a small bike.
That's interesting.
Past simple tense. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
He rode.
Really? What did he ride?
Well, he rode a bike.
That's nice. Which bike did he ride?
Well, he rode a small bike.
That's nice.
Past perfect tense. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
He had ridden.
Really? What had he ridden?
Well, he had ridden a bike.
That's nice. Which bike has he ridden?
Well, he had ridden a small bike.
That's nice.
Future tense. Excuse me?
Yes, please.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
He will ride.
Really? What will he ride?
Well, he will ride a bike.
That's nice. Which bike will he ride?
Well, he will ride a small bike.
That sounds great.